In this video, you're going to learn about the frog. You're going to learn forever rely on guidance and how it links to that frog and so much more. So stay tuned. Hello, my name is Sioux. I'm a spiritual teacher and a healer and so much more. Here, we're going to share ancient teachings on healing yourself and get on purpose so you can heal others. In this video, I will be sharing all about the frog medicine. Now, I'd like to start out with a story. Every year, there is a race. There is a huge race, you see, in the animal kingdom. They like to get together and all the animals just live for this race. Okay? Some, well, they like to watch from the sidelines, and others just live for this. I have to get in there. Well, this particular year, the frog decided he was going to run this race. Now, what was interesting is as the frog gets up to the starting line, right? And he's getting up to the starting line, and he's going to go, and he's going to just go for it, right? Just run it the best he can. He gets front and center. And you can hear it on the sidelines. Get out of there, frog. You can't win. You can't do this. No. Go, get out of here. And the frog didn't listen. The frog just didn't listen. The frog instead waited and waited. And then all of a sudden, the gun went off and the animals just all went. And as the animals went, frog leaped and he leaped and he leaped and he was going and he was going and he was going as fast as he can, leaping. And the other runners, get out of my way, frog. Get out of here. You're never going to win. You're too small. You can't do this. No, everybody on the sideline, same thing. Get out of the way, frog. You're not going to do it. Well, as the race was getting towards the end, right, as it was getting closer to the end, the frog was so far ahead. He not only crossed that finish line, he won. Now, most people would have gotten so bothered by all that negative talk and all that nastiness thrown at them. It would stir up our inner self, where we would be questioning, can we do it? Oh my goodness, that negative talk really can affect us, how we perform in life, right? Don't you agree? But this is one thing that the frog didn't do. It didn't bother him one bit. Frogs, F.R.O.G, frog, forever rely on guidance. He has to rely on God, guidance, to get him where he wants to go. Frogs can't see where they're going, all right? They have to rely on where they're going to land, because they only can see peripheral vision. They can't see where they're going. So it's forever rely on guidance. Now, the other aspect of this frog, when he won this race, he couldn't hear a thing. Frogs can't hear. He couldn't hear all that negative talk. And because he didn't hear it, he didn't allow it to bother him. When we're really working with our self-worth and our courage, right? When we're working on these two things, I invite you to connect with the frog, all right? Connect with the frog. It's about taking that leap of faith, knowing that you're going to be okay. You have to trust where you're going to land. It's okay. Now, I think for myself, whenever I started out on a new path, a new adventure, all right, I would connect to that frog and just take a moment and really connect and invite the frog to come in. All right. It's just that moment, taking that one moment and saying, okay, I need this energy of this frog. I need to be able to take that leap of faith. And I know that everything is going to be okay. I'm just going to trust, go into that trust, just like the frog. And I'm going to land where I need to land. In the Mayan culture, the frogs, show up as the musician to the rain god. All right. In this connotation, all right, the frogs would bring fertility, all right, and strengthen and its strength. The frogs and toads, all right, they lay thousands of eggs. And so this is where the Mayans would connect it to the fertility. And also there are many parallels drawn between these amphibians, these frogs, and the maize or corn. The frog is seen as that connection of a rainmaker. All right. So in the shamanic practices, they'll call the frog in to help with the rain when seasons are too dry or we're in droughts. We'll call in the frog, the essence of the frog, to create that magic so the water will come in. The rain comes in. Now, I said water. That's right, because the frog is connected to the water element, all right? And that element is associated with our emotions, our cleansing, right? Again, when we need to wash away old belief systems, old patterns that get in our way, that prevent us from moving into a success atmosphere. Call in the frog. Call in that frog. Invite him in. How do you invite in a frog? Well, take a moment, sit back in your chair, or go outside and sit on the grass near water or whatever. And simply ask for the essence of the frog to come, to take that leap into your field, to help guide you in what it is that you need guidance in. Whether it's washing those patterns, right? Those patterns that are getting in our way, all right? Or helping us connect to that courage and to that self-worth. Now, the frog comes out at night, all right? This is when the frog comes out at night. So the frog connects us to the moon, right? And that connection to the moon is all about intuition. Intuition is thought as a feminine trait, right? In most cultures, the moon is related to that feminine energy, the feminine power, while the sun is related to the masculine. Now, both men and women have a duality of this power within themselves. So the masculine and the feminine are both present. So the frog, you can, if you're a man, it will still connect you to that feminine energy of the moon into that world of intuition. So yes, the frog connects us to our intuition. It connects us to the feminine energies, and it connects us to the magic of nature with these elements, right? Now, the frog also symbolizes the cycles of life, especially rebirth. You know, we go from a tadpole to an adult frog. It goes into a metamorphosis, all right? It goes from one to another. It reminds us of the processing of transformation and rebirth in our lives. Take a step back for just a moment, and look at your life. How many lifetimes do you think you've already experienced in this one lifetime? I'm always amazed for myself when I look back at the things that I've done in different places that I've been and thinking, wow, that was a whole nother lifetime ago. You know, for instance, I was a cook for a convent uh, with these nuns for a time, for a small time. And then at another time, I was an art director for in a major agency for a while, and then I was living on a ranch in Texas, you know, with horses and goats and chickens, to now living in a foreign country, in the capital of a foreign country on top of that. You know, and when I sit back and I look at these different cycles in my life, I'm like, wow, how interesting that we go from one thing to another. It's a whole different lifetime. How I was then to how I am now. It's amazing. And I'm sure it is for you as well. You know, these different life cycles that we have. Now, in ancient times, you know, in ancient times of Egypt and Rome and other cultures, the frog symbolized as an animal that is associated with birth and rebirth. It's famous for that fertility, again, fertility and rebirth and resurrection. All right. For example, ancient Egypt's mythology, the frog you'll find associated with the resurrection. And you'll find Venus, the goddess of love, is often depicted with a frog with her. The ability to go from water to earth is a characteristic of a frog. People with a frog totem or inclined to walk, let's say, in between planes, whether it's the physical or spiritual or emotional plane, and enjoy playing with life and in nature's magic, is usually indications that they have this frog as part of their totems, part of their guidance. All right. Now, frogs are revered as a symbol of transition. All right. Since they can move from this water and earth. So we call on the frog when you're going through a tough time of change and you want it to go smoothly and you need that help, you know, from one state to the next, you know, that will support that your transformation or your metamorphosis in a subtle but yet a very powerful way. Now, frogs, all you have to do is go outside, sit down, maybe sit out on your porch or outside, you know, just stand under the moon and invite that frog to come in and be part of your guidance, a part of your life. And notice the changes that are going to happen for you, whether they're small and smooth and subtle, you know, or whether they're like a tidal wave, like the water, you know, whether it ripples and it's nice and soft and smooth, or it's coming in a fast current, the frog is going to get you through it. Not a problem. It's remembering about taking that leap of faith. We are frog. Forever rely on guidance. It's with you every step of the way. So I hope you enjoyed a little bit about learning about the frog. And if you like this video, please click subscribe, and I'll see you in future videos.